Okay, so I'm here with Jeffrey Tucker, author of the upcoming book Bit by Bit. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Bitcoin really inspired me to look at the world a different way. And I realized that it's just one piece of a larger suite of technologies. And actually these technologies are historically very significant. In fact, I think it's the most exciting chapter in the history of liberty we've ever faced. So that's the reason I call the book Bit by Bit. There's, of course, a double entendre here, right? So we're dealing with Bitcoin, but also talking about improvements on the margin. One of the beautiful things about being alive today is that every day that we're alive, and even while we sleep, we see these technologies sort of unfolding gradually in a way that's sneaking up on us. And I think they're fundamentally reshaping the character of human relationships.
So, just for people who might not know that are watching, what is Bitcoin?
Yeah, Bitcoin's people call it cash for the internet. Really, it's a way of commodifying and titling information bundles that can be transported on a geographically non-contiguous basis. In the same way you and I can exchange property together, Bitcoin enables that to happen like all over the world peer-to-peer. So it's an epic contribution, not just technologically, but in terms of human association itself.
So what do you think the role of like Bitcoin or just any kind of peer-to-peer anonymous type of
I think it's breaking down third-party trust institutions. Some of which have been very valuable in a sense because we didn't have the technology to do it otherwise, but some of which have been enormously destructive. The ultimate sort of third-party intermediary in our lives is, of course, the state. And a lot of the rationale for the state has been that we need it because there's things the state does that we can't do for just as individuals. But now we have the technology to do those things. And that really changes the dynamic of history. The cool thing from a point of view of human liberty is that this stuff works. Like liberty is working and peer-to-peer technology is working. And people naturally are going to want to adopt it for that reason. And so the beautiful thing about that is we can bypass this sort of tedious process of ideological agitation and just defer to the growth of institutions. I think ideological change is going to follow the institutional change in that sense.
So what does the individual have to benefit or gain from technology?
Well, we all have an interest in engaging one-to-one, person-to-person. That's what cryptography is all about, really. It's about one-to-one exchange, and that's what human liberty is all about. But it just hasn't always been possible. Now we actually have that possibility. Here's an example. When you download an app from the app economy, which is this brand new thing we didn't even know existed until very recently, you really don't care where it was made. You know, nation states just don't matter to you anymore. It could be made in Belarus, it could be made in San Jose, Costa Rica, Montreal. It just doesn't matter anymore.
It's the beauty of a free market.
Yeah, and the digital space is the true free space that we have. Whereas free spaces like this didn't exist in the past. So now we're seeing sort of the unfolding of what freedom really looks like. And there's ways in which I think peer-to-peer technology is like a state killer.
So what do you kind of see, you're talking about Bitcoin and these kind of technologies possibly challenging the third party like the state. What do you kind of see as the state's possible reaction to something like Bitcoin?
They will always try to slow us down, but they will never be able to stop us. We see this ongoing. Silk Road 1's taken down, Silk Road 2 pops up 30 days later. Take down Silk Road 2, Silk Road 3 pops up 1 hour later. So you can see what's happening. It's a little like the process of marijuana legalization. 40 years ago, Richard Nixon declared a war on pot. He was going to get rid of it. And he had no reason to think he couldn't do this, but it turned out human beings fought back. And I think that's what we're seeing today. Just a mass global fighting back against the regimentation of the state. The critical difference is that now we have extremely powerful tools that the state can't take from us. That's the difference.
So, what do you see the world like in 20 years with the advancement of Bitcoin?
Well, I think in 20 years the nation state will be nothing like what it is now. It will still exist in form, but its teeth will be ever more sort of chiseled down, really, less and less relevant to our lives. Yeah.
All right, well,
always dangerous, but less and less relevant, yeah.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jeffrey Tucker. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.